After the death of Samantha Stewart, a 29-year-old nurse found raped and strangled in her Queens apartment, law enforcement traced her brutal murder to one man, Daniel Drayton, now known to many as the Tinder serial killer. Since his arrest, Drayton, who used mobile applications like Tinder and Plenty of Fish to lure his victims, has since claimed responsibility for up to 7 murders, which police are now investigating. So as police unravel his lethal quest, one major question remains. While dating apps have often allowed millennials to navigate the world of dating with just a swipe on their smartphones, could these platforms prove deadly? Here to give us more on this developing story is Aisha Ray, a reporter at the New York Daily News. Aisha, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Jenna.
So first, how were the police able to determine that Drayton was connected to Samantha's killing?
So once Samantha was found on that July 17th, 18th day, they found that Drayton had actually used her credit card to take a one-way trip to California. And they found his car at JFK Airport. They caught him in California and, found him there and connected him to her murder.
How does then that connection then lead back to Tinder?
So when they were investigating this, they found that Drayton and Samantha Stewart had met on Tinder, had dated, and we found in many cases this was the case, that Drayton had met his victims on Tinder. They dated for a little bit, and then things went sour.
Now, when it came to him claiming responsibility for up to 7 murders, and up to, does that mean that police believe that there could be more people that he just hasn't owned up to, or?
Right. So it's a little unclear because, of course, he's, admitted to or confessed to up to 7 other murders, but we're not sure if that's actually true. We do know at least he's suspected of killing Samantha Stewart. He's suspected of attempting to murder this woman in California that he was caught with. There is, strangulation charges in Connecticut. But as for murder, he's confessed to several of them. It's unclear if he's actually done it or if he's just trying to make himself bigger than he is.
So what has been the reaction from these dating apps, I want to say social media platforms, but specifically these dating apps, to the fact that you now have, especially Tinder, he's now nicknamed the Tinder killer?
So Tinder has come out with a statement saying that they are working with law enforcement. They find this, horrific. Plenty of Fish, which is the other app he's used, hasn't come out with a public statement yet. So the reaction for them is expectedly, they're saying we're sorry for this. We're working with law enforcement. But the question is, what do they do going forward? Because this isn't the first time someone has met a guy or a girl on Tinder and things have gone horribly, horribly wrong. But how do you fix something like this? Do you add more barriers to people who are entering Tinder? Or do you just let it be and let the people who are dating each other handle themselves? I don't know if it's a question that can be answered unless you start going into weird questions of criminal history.
Well, that does come up because, of course, as you mentioned, Drayton did have a strangulation report made against him in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. So this is someone who did have a history of domestic violence.
Right.
But there's nothing, any sort of like mechanism that exists right now for those sites to know before someone enters into that online dating pool. Is that correct?
Right, exactly. And you can't really ask them to ask people either, because once you start asking people, hey, do you have a criminal history? That's kind of a rabbit hole. I don't know if these sites want to go down. Because, you may have a violent criminal history like Drayton does, but you also may have a non-violent criminal history, for weed possession or turnstile jumping or something like that. And now they're barring people who are maybe otherwise good people from entering the site because they've got this blanket, we will not allow people with a criminal history on our site.
So before, and I do want to get back to the case right now, that's at least the cases against Drayton, but I do want to go back to the dating sites. Are there any sort of best practices that some level of like law enforcement or somebody has come out with and said, listen, we know that this has been a problem. We know that this has happened a few times before. Here are some suggestions that you can at least do to keep yourself safe.
Well, I mean, I think it's it's really up to the user. As for law enforcement, what they can do is it's kind of a reactionary approach. It's really up to the person who's using the app to make sure that, to make sure that the person they're planning to meet with, maybe doing a little bit of a background check themselves, maybe, meeting them in public places, just being careful when you're dating someone online. I mean, I think that's just the biggest thing here. You're meeting someone online you've never met before, and you're meeting them in person. I mean, it's important to keep yourself safe in that case. As for law enforcement, I'm not sure what more they can do until something happens.
All right, well, listen, Aisha, I want to thank you so much for your reporting. We'll be looking forward to seeing how this case develops and what comes of it, and perhaps if any changes to dating apps or at least sharing of information between police departments, between states happens. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.